Hello everyone, this is Liam. I'm going to be teaching you guys quickly how to do basic transformations and whatnot in Autodesk Maya, so you guys can start playing around with it and making your own things. Here I am in a blank general Autodesk Maya file. You get to that by going to File and then New Scene, but since I'm in a new scene, I don't need to do that. Now you may notice that it's just blank and there's nothing here, and you don't know how to move around and whatnot, so I'll teach you all that. To begin with, let's learn how to move our camera around. How you do that is by holding down Alt and left click and drag your mouse around, and that'll help you rotate around your scene. And then you're saying, well, I want to see something that's all the way over here, but I can't see it. Well, what you can do is hold down Alt and then middle click with your mouse, and you can drag and pan. So that'll help you really move around your scene. You can rotate, you can pan, and not only that, if you use your middle mouse button and or your middle mouse wheel and scroll, you can also zoom in and out. So using these three functions, you can really get around your scene and see whatever you need to see from all angles of your project. So that's really useful. But you're saying, Liam, there's nothing here. Well, to fix that, you can go to Create in the upper left corner, and then press either NURBS primitives or polygon primitives. Polygon primitives are probably a little better. And there's a whole host of objects that you can choose from to play around with. So let's say I need a sphere. I can click sphere, and then here's my sphere. It's here, and I can, mess around with it. So let's get to the basic transformations. How to move this around, make it bigger, how to rotate it, and whatnot. To begin with, there's these functions on the side. So you can click these if you want, and it'll bring up these little, what are they called? Little functions that you can kind of rotate or scale or move your objects with. So the first one is move. Now, if I use any of these arrows, it'll mean that I can only move the object along the direction the arrow is pointing. And if I want to undo an action, I do Control Z, kind of like you do in Google Docs or whatnot, like any other computer program. So the arrows are purely one directional, along, let's say, a virtual line along this arrow. But then these, what are they called? The rectangles, little squares, it'll just go in the two directions that are next to it. So this one goes in the green arrow direction and also red arrow direction along this plane, like that, and then green one, kind of like that. But if I click the middle, then I can go around anywhere in space. So let's say I want to create a new cube so you can better see my demonstration. There's also rotate. You can rotate along each of the axes with green, blue, and red, or the whole thing is just in everywhere. There's also scale. Scale is the whole thing is the yellow one in the circle, or along one axis, two axes, three axes, or along like one plane, as you can see here. So that's super cool. But not only can you do that, you can also select certain edges or vertices to edit your object. So if you do that by holding down right click on your object and then going to face, vertex, or edge. So for example, I want to edge, and then you can see it highlights whatever edge my mouse is over, and I can click a certain edge or hold down shift and click more edges to select more edges. And then using those, I can, make them bigger to change the shape, or, or move them around and whatnot to kind of change the shape of my polygon in general, or my mesh in general. But not only that, you can also do face selection, so I can select a face and, move that around as well. or I can select a vertex, which are all the intersections of edges, and doing that also works too. I can move those too. And using that, I can make some pretty zany shapes. So using these different, and if you want to go back to object mode, you can right-click, hold down right-click on the object, and just click object mode. And now I'm back to good old object mode. And using these transformations, you can make some truly wacky objects. And yeah, that's about it for starting to play with Maya. So go ahead and try it out for yourself. Make some fun objects. If you have a creative design you want to make, go ahead and make it. Have fun, you guys.